Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Technique Talk Tuesday. So this week we're talking about why you're not practicing. I have a bunch of clients who come to me and say, Tom, I swear I really want to do this, and I am an organized person, but I can't wrap my head around how to practice, or where to practice, or when to practice. And so I want to use this video to help you guys get clear about some variables that might help. So first thing you have to consider is why you're doing what you're doing. Now, I know many of you want to pursue a professional life in the theater, but that's actually not clear enough for our purposes. You have to get down to the nitty-gritty about what you actually want to happen with your voice. So do you want to increase your range this week? Do you want to be able to flip between your head voice and chest voice more clearly? Do you want to go from a belt song to a legit song in one audition? Do you want to decrease your nerves? All those little goals, that's what I want you to focus on this week in terms of why you're doing what you're doing. Then we can get clear on what to do. In your lessons, I really want you to walk out knowing 1 to 3 things that you can do to address those specific goals. So get clear with yourself or with me about how to actually achieve that in very microscopic ways. Lots of things you can do without needing a whole hour to do them. You can knock off little goals throughout the week. The third thing is getting clear on when. That's probably the easiest. You can manipulate your schedule around when you want to focus on your voice and how you're going to do that. But I think the hardest one is actually where, which sounds counterintuitive, but I think that's the biggest obstacle for most of my clients is where to practice. I know myself included, I get self-conscious even just vacuuming in my apartment or riling the dogs up because I'm afraid that the neighbors are going to get mad at me. And I have to admit, if I'm watching the season finale of Walking Dead and I hear one of you singing Defying Gravity, I'm going to get pretty mad.
That felt good.
So I think you have to get clear about where you're going to practice. Now, you can do 2 different things. A studio for 30 minutes in Manhattan costs about $7. I think that if you're really pursuing this as your career, you need to find the finances to be able to do that. The other way you can do is practicing throughout the day on the street, and I mean that literally. Lots of the exercises that I do with my clients in here can be done on the subway or walking down the street because A, in Manhattan, really, who's looking at you? There's lots of crazy people and you're probably one of them already. And B, some of them don't have to be full voice. You can actually do them under your breath. It's more about controlling your muscles and even imagining your muscles versus singing full out at all times. So of those 4 things, probably the biggest obstacle that you're encountering is the where. Certainly if you live in town. If you're outside of town, maybe one of the other variables is affecting you. You know that I'm a big fan of the 80-20 plan, thinking about what's the 20% that's going to yield 80% of the results. So I want you to think in terms of the why, the how, the when, and the where. Which of those things are going to really unlock your ability to practice more effectively? I hope this video helped. If you agree that it did help, please share it with your friends. And I'm also interested in hearing your comments, particularly from other teachers around the world who might be experiencing this with their students, how to help them practice more effectively. If you have any tips for me, please share and share with our community here. I look forward to seeing you guys next week.